Welcome to the Spiritual Medicine Digest. I'm Dr. Karen Can. This week, we are going to be talking about sacred economy. But before we do that, if you are new to my YouTube channel, I would love for you to hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you know every time I do a new video. So, people have been talking about the matrix, the control matrix, those that would hold us back, wrapping all of us around their little fingers as to, what we're allowed to do and what we're not allowed to do. And so many people are like, oh, can't wait till we escape the matrix. But here's the thing. Everything that is tied to commerce is tied to the matrix. So it's super, super challenging to try to escape the matrix and still kind of live a somewhat normal life. Like if you were totally escaping the matrix and didn't have connections to anything, you would have some difficulty unless you were maybe Amish and living off grid and creating all your own energy, all your own food, had your own farm animals, were completely fine without, having a telephone or cell phone or internet or anything like that. I don't know about you, but I am not quite ready to give up my current life. Also because not just because of lifestyle and, wanting to travel or skate or, do different things and experience different things. And there's nothing wrong with that. But because I think there's another way. There's another way. And I wouldn't be able to do my mission without interacting with the matrix to some degree. So what if we could interact with the matrix but not be controlled by the matrix? That's one of the reasons why I'm part of the Kingdom of David and the Davida Society, because there is a possibility, and this is a very good one, that there are steps that you can take to know what to say and know what to do in situations so you're not caught in the matrix. Now, today I'm going to talk about sacred economy. Source asked me to talk to you about sacred economy. It's something that's been on my mind for quite a bit of time. I recently got wind of this term, sacred economy, and when I heard it, it felt like there was a boom, like a resonance in my body, like, whoa, what is that? What does that mean? Well, I'm going to tell you what it means. And I got to tell you, when I heard about what sacred economy is, it really resonated with me. I was exposed to marketing, internet marketing, quite a number of years ago, probably 17 years ago or so. And I have to say that after spending tens of thousands of dollars on many programs, a lot of times I never finished the program and never really fully implemented what the marketer teacher was telling me to do. Why? Well, there was a piece of me that just couldn't make myself do it. I don't know. Either it felt too salesy or inauthentic or whatever. It just never really worked for me. I kind of sort of did my own thing, which of course one could argue, well, no wonder it didn't work, Dr. Karen. You didn't do it the way they taught you to do it. Here's the other thing, is a lot of times the marketing was done and the teaching was done by men, young men in their 20s. Yes, I know they make 7 figures, but here I am as a woman in a health, care environment, a healer. Some of the languaging, it just didn't really jive with me. And now I understand why, because it was all about the energy, all about the energetics. So sacred economy moves away from some of the things that we have grown up with that we know or consider normal in terms of just consumerism, marketing, commerce, those kinds of things, and moves towards a new paradigm that we were never exposed to. Here's the good news. There are people that are currently exercising their right to be part of some sort of sacred economic structure. And I think this is going to grow over time. So let me share what those 4 pillars of sacred economy are. And this is in no particular order. Number 1, going from competition to contribution. Well, it's actually consumerism to contribution, but I kind of like this other one. Maybe it's a pillar 1.0, 1.01 or something like that, because it kind of comes naturally as part of it. Maybe there's 5 pillars. So we're going from consumerism to contribution, and I think from competition to cooperation. So they're very, very similar in this way. So consumerism is all about more, buy, more, whereas contributions more like sharing, but not in the way that the World Economic Forum and Klaus Schwab is telling people that they need to share things like you'll own nothing and be happy. I think in some ways that's absolutely true, and not in the way that people are thinking. In other words, the person that's giving that particular piece of advice is not necessarily going to be one to lead by example, right? It's one thing to say what other people should do and another thing to lead by example, which is why I kind of stopped giving advice to my parents a really, really long time ago, because I was a stressed out medical doctor and I ended up with fibromyalgia. And then I was like, wait a second, I thought I knew everything, and obviously I don't because I got sick. So I stopped giving free advice to my parents for the most part, unless they asked for it, or unless, something, somebody's life is on the line, that kind of thing. And to this day, sometimes I'll just ask permission. Do you want to know about this? No, I don't. Okay, I'll shut up now. So that's the cool thing, going from consumerism to contribution. And I think an example of this would be in my own life, if you don't mind me sharing, is that, so I have some friends of mine that live in an RV, that's their home, and they are part-time in Florida and part-time elsewhere, usually in the Northeast. And this year they asked, because we're very close, whether or not they could stay on our property for the summer. And, I think the old me probably would have butt up against some resistance, like some healthy boundaries, blah, 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 that kind of thing. Like, is there a balance here? Like, is it going to be fair? All that kind of stuff. But the funny thing is my consciousness has switched and changed over the decades. And it was like an immediate yes. Well, I had to check in with my husband, but it was like an immediate yes. And so what's really neat is that at first I was like, well, how's this whole, contribution, cooperation thing gonna actually work? Like, am I gonna call my neighbor and go, hey, are you using your vacuum? Can I have your vacuum? You know what I mean? Like, it just seemed kind of artificial. But because my friends asked me about this and it was a yes, it's like I'm learning piecemeal, little by little, how this is done. And I gotta tell you, it's easier than I thought. Really, like, it's just natural. It's just natural to share things. It's natural to give things. It's, borrowing the car, is this good time for you? I mean, of course, my friends are so incredibly considerate and respectful, so it makes it really, really easy. But I can at least feel and sense how this could be our new reality. Not that there's anything wrong with having a new car or buying new clothes or things like that, but it's sort of like we can be in that space where we're not just focused on consumerism, right? We can be focused on other things, on contribution, the back and forth between, whether it be spending money at the farmer's market or, trading things, or, girlfriends getting together and doing like a clothes swap. I mean, these things, some of them are not new. They're very, very old concepts, but it was not always natural for me. So that is one piece, that one pillar of the sacred economy, is going from consumerism to contribution and how we contribute to other people's lives. The other one is moving from isolation to community. Again, this has been really growing in my own personal life. Now, once I started with, trying to create an assembly in my own hometown, connecting with some local wellness and healer people who are interested in creating a new community that is focused on wellness and universal natural law, things like that, we've continued to meet even though we are not actively doing assembly work. And it's been wonderful because we're very much of like mind, and we get to enjoy each other, and we share food and ideas, and and I have to say I've had the most fun this summer than I think most of my other summers in my adult life, because we go swimming, we go for a hike, and like Sometimes in the past, I was definitely isolated. It was just me, my husband, and that was it. So we just kind of stay at home all day long, or I'd be on the computer, or we watch movies. And now it's like people want to do stuff. And because I don't tend to be really good necessarily at planning group activities, other people can do that. And it's been really, really nice. I don't have to figure out how do I get to such and such a pond, or, where's a good place to swim? Like, I just wanted someone to lead me. And now I have that. I have community, and it feels good. It feels like this is how we naturally build to a peaceful, joyful, harmonious community, like one person at a time, one group at a time, very, very small. But this is the energy. It's not like in the assembly work we did was kind of almost forced. We have to do this assembly. We have to learn how to get along. We have to, learn how to, create these organizations to do this or that or water rights. And I'm not saying that's wrong. It just wasn't me. I just didn't feel like I was in flow. So I think we're all going through this natural progression from isolation to community. And you might be feeling that calling, whether it be an online community or in-person community. So that has become very important in my life. The third pillar is moving from transaction to trust. So it's not about, well, how much can I invest and how much can I get back? 10 times my investment, that kind of thing. And more like, when we're working, especially among businesses, is that trust, mutual trust. For example, it was natural to me to promote some of my friends and colleagues. Like one of my former VIP clients and students has a great business, and he had a past history of being EMF sensitive, and he's created all sorts of strategies, including some TKH healing to help him with that. And he created a product which can help, called forest bathing, can help with people's EMF sensitivities, right? Now, and he has a spray with essential oils and things like that. Now, you could argue, well, Dr. Karen, I mean, you could make that with TKH healing, right? I mean, you know how to charge water. You could just put essential oils and do the same thing. Well, I have no interest in doing that. Maybe for myself, but definitely not selling it. So it's like, why not support somebody that I trust, somebody that I like, somebody who's doing great work out there? Why not? So yeah, so I'm buying from this person. There's other colleagues that I buy their programs, I buy their products because I trust them, that I know they're good eggs. You know what I mean? Like, I know that they're really trying to make a difference in the world. So it's not to say that I don't ever buy from Amazon or some other big sellers. I do when there's nothing, no other options there. But I'm moving away from just blindly buying whatever because it's on sale, because that's kind of how I grew up, to really investing in my colleagues and friends. And they do the same for me, which is really, really cool. So transaction to trust. Now, the fourth pillar is around going from scarcity consciousness to abundance consciousness. Of course, this is not an overnight process, but the cool thing is we can cue in to what's going on in our minds. Are we reacting to this? Are we saying old thoughts that pop up, like this is too expensive, or this needs to be cheaper, or those kinds of things we heard growing up, or the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. I heard that a lot growing up. And so we can really be conscious of some of those habitual thoughts, habitual habits, and habitual beliefs, if you will, that we got from our parents and school teachers and church leader, whatever, in the past, that may not serve us and may not connect us to that abundance consciousness. So that is where economy is going. And how cool is that? So instead of scarcity, there's abundance, and that is based on the consciousness level. So those are the four pillars. Let me just review them again. Number one, consumerism to contribution, and I like to say from competition to cooperation as well. It's part of actually the animal kingdom, how it really works. Now, forget about the survival of the fittest stuff. I mean, that is just BS. It's not actually real. Somebody gave us that line, and it's actually not real in the animal kingdom. Then moving from isolation to community, number two. Number three, transaction to trust. And number four, scarcity consciousness to abundance consciousness. So for today's TKH Healing Activation, I thought we could do a number of things. So we are going to do some releases first. So if you would like to receive, you can just make that intention to receive this activation and this mini healing from me. And you can play this video, this part over and over again if you found that it's shifting you and there may be more things to shift, maybe tomorrow, the next day, etc. So the first part is going to be releasing. So we're going to be releasing resistance, because anything we resist persists. So our resistance and reactivity related to the matrix, or what we see, the control mechanisms out there. The second part of the mini healing is about releasing habitual negative thoughts, habits, patterns, etc., related to money and commerce. And then the second half of the activation is going to be downloading positive morphic fields. Yes, blueprints that would be helpful in this whole arena of money and abundance and things like that. So here we go. If you'd like to do the stillness through observing internal movement, which is my avenue to stillness, you can do it with me. You can rub your hands together really, really, really fast, get some energy and chi moving, feel the heat, and then relax. And then close your eyes. Go ahead and close your eyes. And go ahead and focus on the inside of your body, near your hands at first, and then feel the energy or the movement traveling wherever it goes. No judgment. And then follow the flow wherever it goes. Does it go to your head? Does it go to your heart? If it doesn't go anywhere, that's fine. Just keep focusing on where it is. So in this space where you have your mind disciplined on focusing on the movement and what the feeling is in your body, you go into the stillness or the still point. So now I'm going to do the Topican healing directives. Your job is just to notice the movement of energy in your body, whether it shifts, changes, etc., while we do the mini healings, and then you can let me know afterwards whether you notice a shift. You may or may not. It's all good. If you're open to receiving, you'll receive whatever it is for your highest and greatest good. So here we go. First, the releases. I now command that any resistance that you have to what is, including resistance to the matrix or the control matrix, be deleted, dissolved, and uncreated. It is now commanded that any reactivity or knee-jerk reactions to what's happening in the world and the matrix, control systems, be deleted, dissolved, and uncreated. It is now commanded that all residual habits, negative habits, patterns, beliefs, thought forms that are related to money, commerce, control, taxes, the matrix, be released, dissolved, and uncreated in the highest and best way. Let's have that all released, dissolved, and uncreated in the highest, best way, all directions of time, with ease, speed, and grace, and all timelines where you exist, where allowed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So go ahead and just note how that feels in the body. Just let that settle in. Continue noticing the energy and movement in the body. Let's do the positive downloads now. I now command that the positive morphic field of cooperation, community, connection, love, trust, abundance, and any other positive morphic field that you're missing that would be for your highest and greatest good be downloaded and activated now for you in this and all the lifetimes where you're allowed, in the highest and best way, all directions of time, with ease, speed, and grace. Thank you. Okay. So I'd love for you to give me some comments in the boxes below. Let me know, how did that feel in your body? Did you download any other positive morphic fields that I didn't think of? How did it feel? How did you experience that? Would love to know. And any comments that you have about sacred economy, I'd love to know that as well. So I have some announcements for this week. First of all, Monday, September 5th, Labor Day's Light Warrior Radio Show is going to feature Dr. Dennis Lobstein and myself. It is the first Monday of the month, so it is all about LifeWave, phototherapy, and patching. One of my favorite health and wellness tools of the century. We are going to be answering your questions about how to use the phototherapy patches, how to pick acupuncture points that would be helpful for whatever symptom you are dealing with. So I will put the link near this video where you can put in your questions and just join us Monday through the Blog Talk Radio link and participate. And you can even type in the chat in case you're long distance and don't want to call in to ask your question, or if you don't want to go on Facebook at the event and put in your question there. So that is the first announcement. Now we have some cool stuff, new stuff coming up. Last Sunday, I recorded the latest in the Healthy Habits, Healthy Life video series. I call it Big Toe Walking. And if you're like, what the heck is that? Well, you got to watch the video. So check it out. I'll put the link near this video. That is one of the healthy habits that I am striving to continue and to do. The second thing is September's free mini healings are coming up. Woohoo, woohoo. So that's going to be on Tuesday the 6th at 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And if you have not already registered to that, there is a link that I'll put next to this video, near this video, where you can register. Now, here's the thing. In the past, we had some challenges with our group growing so much that half the mini healing felt like half, probably wasn't half. I felt like I was reading instead of doing healing. And I thought, okay, this isn't working anymore. So we have to figure out a new format. So the new format for the mini healings is that you can submit your mini healing request prior, like the day before, night before, prior to the mini healings. They'll be populated on a spreadsheet. Yes, a spreadsheet, where I can look at them, read them, and Source will guide me as to which ones we'll do assessments on, but everyone's going to get healing. So if you have something personal that you would like healing around, please choose one thing. So, one thing that you submit. There is going to be a form that you can submit it. If you want to do it for your family member, that is fine as well, as long as we have permission. Then I will divine muscle test what examples that we're doing for that day as part of the Tobacan healing assessments. And then we're going to do healing for everyone. So how is that going to work? Well, there's going to be a theme each month. This month's theme is going to be on abundance. So we're going to be doing some pretty profound, I think, pretty profound healing related to abundance. What's preventing you from fully stepping into your version of abundance? We're going to do some healing for the whole group on this. And then everyone that submitted a personal healing request is going to be placed in what I call my mini healing basket. So it's like energetically, I do healing on some of my VIP clients, friends, and family in this healing basket every day. You get to be placed in that basket for 24 hours where automatic healing is getting done for you, and whatever needs to release can release. So that is one of the ways that we can kind of help everyone without me reading, line by line and sending healing to you one at a time, which takes a lot of time. So that's our new format. So what's going to happen if you've already registered? You might be like, where's the form that I fill out? Well, it's going to be emailed to you. Okay, you're going to be emailed the form that you fill out. You'll see what the guidelines are right there, and it'll, like I said, it'll populate the spreadsheet. Then I'll go in and be able to muscle test if you happen to be the one that Source says for me to do an assessment on the mini healing date, or going into the healing basket. Everyone's going to be, placed in the healing basket who submits that form. And of course, if you don't submit anything, you're completely fine as well, because you will be there, right, receiving during the mini healing. And then if you're on the replay as well, you will also receive group healing on that. So what else do I have to tell you? Well, it's near autumn. Oh my gosh, it is autumn. It is September after all. So September is the start of our fall telesummit season, and I have the great honor of being on several amazing telesummits this fall. And I'm going to put the links near this video. I'd love for you to join those telesummits. I will be speaking in those telesummits. Lots of amazing things happening, different speakers, gifts, things like that. So we have the Alchemy of Ascension. That's a new telesummit that I joined this year. We also have UWealth Revolution, and I'm a popular speaker there, lucky me. And also the Trauma Relief Summit that I was invited to from my friend Deanna Hansen, who is the creator of Block Therapy. And those of you that know me know I absolutely love Block Therapy. So I definitely said yes to her there. And so I'll put those links near this video so you just feel it out, see if it's for you. I'd love for you to be able to listen to my talks, because I have some special stuff planned. So I'm really, really, really excited for all the things that are coming up. The world is changing big time. Of course, I'm changing, you're changing. I want to thank you so much for being part of my tribe and for watching this video. And again, if you are new, go ahead and hit the subscribe button on YouTube if you're watching this on YouTube, and the notification bell. So every time I do a new video, including my Healthy Habits, Healthy Life, on the weekends, you'll have an alert that there is a new video. So until next time, lots of love. Thank you so much for being in my community, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now.